Hi everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. In this deck, I'll provide a little overview as to kind of who I am as a person, why I'm here. I'll go into the grammar mechanism that I struggle with the most, talk a little bit about the website that I found to be super helpful with those grammar mechanisms, and I'll leave off with some key takeaways and ways to combat those superfluous commas. Cool. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a recent graduate from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. I studied public relations and I minored in psychology, and then pretty much jumped right into the working world literally the day after I graduated. So it's been a wild ride. And now I'm working over at the Google headquarters in Silicon Valley. I do business operations, which kind of was a catalyst to diving into this MBA program, really so that I could further my career growth. And on the right, you will see my favorite flower. This is called a peony, and you can ask my boyfriend, but I could not be any more obsessed with this flower. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Cool. So superfluous commas. This is definitely the grammar technique that I struggle with the most. And what that means is I tend to put commas where they don't belong. I remember learning in school that you would put a comma where there should be a pause in a sentence. So what I tend to do is read over my words, and wherever I think that there should be a comma while I'm speaking, I feel the need to put a comma in my writing as well. And I think that that was kind of like a popular technique or a common practice to teach to children when they were in elementary school. But I think that when people got more sophisticated in the grammar, they kind of strayed away from this pause technique. And unfortunately, I never really did. So great for me. I think it's just really ingrained in my brain to use those commas as pauses that I have to hone in on grammar techniques while I'm writing. So while I'm writing, I literally think about all of those techniques that my college professors would teach me, my high school teachers would teach me, stuff I'm even learning again today. And yeah, so I just want to make sure that my pages aren't inundated with commas like they used to be. Cool. And just to add a little bit of humor to this presentation, how bad I am with commas is pretty much how bad I am at painting. This is a painting I did of the Eiffel Tower. It's pretty horrible. So if you get nothing else from this presentation, then I hope you get that you are a better painter than me. Okay, but I'll get back to why we're here. So this website that I'll go into is really an awesome resource for anything comma-wise. Not only does it have when to use commas, it showcases when not to use them as well. And I'm kind of the type of person that likes to see examples and sentences, and that's why I love this website so much. So I'll click on it right here. So you can scroll all the way down. It says, what is a comma? Like, when to use it, when not to use it, all these awesome sentences that you can go into. And like even after I made this presentation, I took all the rules that I grabbed from here and utilized them just to make sure that I was using them correctly. So kind of all of the comma techniques that you may have forgotten about, you can always come back in here and grab those when you need to. Cool. Only I could figure out, there we go. Awesome. Okay. So some key rules to eliminate those superfluous commas or commas that aren't really necessary. Number one, try to keep the subjects and verbs together in a sentence. Now, it's not always the case, but most cases, so in this way I'm saying is that mostly there's no need to put a comma between the two. So for example, if we go back and we look at this website, we can see there are a few exceptions, but here's some really awesome examples. So the things that cause me joy may also cause me pain. So for me, when I would say this out loud, I would think a comma goes there because it kind of sounds like there should be a pause. In reality, there shouldn't be. So no need to separate the joy from may. Just the things that cause me joy may also cause me pain. So kind of try to stay away from separating the subject and verb. Number 2. Okay, so stay away from commas before the word and. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. What if the words after and create a full sentence? And you are totally right. If those words do in fact make a complete sentence, then the commas should definitely be there. But if you notice that the words after the word and do not create that complete sentence, then there's really no need for that comma. Okay, lastly, number 3. Keep verbs and objects together. In this case, names and objects like he or she are super common. If we refer back to that website one more time, you'll see here that we don't want to separate the two. So for me, I would read this out loud and automatically assume there should be a comma because it sounds like a pause, when in reality, you have your verb and your object, and there's really no need to separate the two. So I'm glad I trained Charlie not to beg for scraps. In reality, you want to say, I'm glad I trained Charlie not to beg for scraps. Another instance where I would definitely use a comma when I shouldn't. Mary said she likes chocolate. Well, we don't really need that because here's your verb, here's your object, there's no need to separate the two. Mary said she likes chocolate. Easy as that. So those are kind of the 3 tools that I would use and recommend you guys use as well. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really want to thank you for taking the time to see this presentation. I know I've been under the weather lately, so my voice was not the most pleasant to listen to, so thank you for bearing with me through that. And if you have any questions or constructive criticism or anything you'd like to see in addition to this, I'd absolutely love to hear it. And have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope that your comma usage is forever awesome. Thanks guys so much.